Das ist Teil 2 unserer Q4-Serie über Black Friday, über das Weihnachtsgeschäft im E-Commerce-Space. Ich habe meinen Partner Emanuele Maragno mit dabei von Ecom-Haus. Wir sind eine Agentur, die E-Commerce-Brands auf 8-stellige Jahresumsätze skaliert. Und im ersten Teil haben wir viel darüber gesprochen, warum das vierte Quartal so wichtig ist für jede D2C-Brand. Wir haben über Angebotsstrategien gesprochen, wir haben über Creatives gesprochen, wir haben über Sales-Events gesprochen. Und in dieser Episode machen wir einen Deep Dive in Facebook-Ads, wie wir es geschafft haben, über 700.000 € pro Tag in Meta-Ads profitabel zu investieren für unsere Kunden. Wir werden darüber sprechen, was Skalierungsstrategien sind, Multi-Channel-Approaches und deswegen, das Interview wird auf Englisch sein, deswegen an alle, die jetzt kein Englisch sprechen, es tut mir leid, aber an alle, die Englisch verstehen, ton of value und let's go.
Then there is a second layer where we say, cool, we add this concept about up to, always discounting the ones that are not that wanted from the market, and we add a gift, okay? So we have two leverages where we say you can have up to, that's already ideally stronger than all your competitors, plus we gift you even something to make you even more, perceived value. Mm-hmm. What do we gift usually? It needs to be something really smart where the cost of goods and shipping is so low that the business is not pretty much losing anything. It just increases so much the perceived value of the offer that all the people will choose us rather than another one. The third level, and we have named it for us, the irresistible offers for us, where we have a bundle where we start stacking together products that users and people want, where we have a strong discount, where we have a much higher AOV, and we give even a free gift. Why that? Because in this moment, we can really show how much we give them of things that they want, saving, plus giving even something that they were not expecting. This so far was not always easy to build with the clients that we have, even to make this mindset to say, hey, you can give up to a 40% off when you stack together so many products and you are saving in shipping and so on, because this is like just piling up value for the customer and value for the business. Obviously, doing all these bundles without not knowing the real profit margins is like where there is the biggest pitfall. But like when they are planned in a smart way, they are like unicorns that they are pretty much opening markets on push channels.
Exactly, and especially the bundles, they make so much sense. And I think our biggest bundles, they were up to 800 euros with some brands. We even have one brand which is in the thousands, I think like 3,000 AOV. Yeah. Of course, not every one of the consumers are buying the high-ticket AOVs, but there is a certain amount of people who want to buy it, and this is increasing the overall profits, margins, and of course also the revenue.
I want to add even another thing that I forgot. When we discuss about the third layer, the irresistible offers and bundles, we always try to build not just one, but three.
Yes.
Why three? Because we want to play with different segments of pricing in the market. So we, when possible, obviously, depending on the business, on the e-commerce product offerings, we want to have one that is like below 50, 60 euros. Why? Because it's capturing a segment of the market who doesn't want to spend too much. Then we want another that is always below 100 euros or 120 maximum. And then we want another below 200. Why that? Because we can always say up to 30, 40, 50%. Maybe just the biggest one has the up 50%. But then if people don't want or they are sensitive to the price that it is too high, they always have the downsell in a way immediately there.
Yes.
Okay? And that is like, it has paid off so much for so long that is like a safe bet to have.
Two things I want to add. Regarding up to, so we figured out Meta likes up to percentage of discount until 70%. If it's over 70%, it might reject the ad and you get flagged like a scammer. So this is one thing to keep in mind. And the other thing is test offers early. Yeah. And the fun fact is, if you find offers, for example, a bundle, a discount, or a buy one, get one free offer, which works, then it also works in the future. So theoretically, you could even use the same type of offer for whole Q4, adjust the naming, adjust the reason for it, and so on. But you don't need to reinvent the wheel. So what we typically do is we use the first sales event when we start with a new brand. For example, Halloween, we test our offer ideas. Usually it works, and then we can run it for every other Q4 promotional campaign, which makes it really simple and easy.
Last thing on offer that I want to add, obviously, depending on the size of the brand, when a brand is already in the 8 or multiple 8 figures a year, there will be the need to say, okay, good, I have so many existing customers that I want to split and I want to treat them in a way that is different from the new customers. Yeah. Because potentially you want to cuddle to don't lose them because they are the backbone of the business at the end. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, you want to win new ones. But many times this doesn't mean that an offer can be really appealing even for someone who was already buying from the brand for 2 years already. So that's like the last part about offering. Even when I would say mostly when they are above the 8 figures a year, think, is this offer relevant for my existing customer base, or should I think something else to channel into email marketing, SMS marketing, and so on, to make them feeling even more special?
Yes. So I think there was a lot of insights regarding offers, and we learned it the hard way past years, and we fine-tuned the strategy every year. So what we just gave you was the blueprint for the best offers you can do in e-commerce. If you want to dive in even more, get like calculators, get like templates and so on, just reach out to me on Instagram and write me that you want our Q4 masterclass, which we just published. It's for free. We give all the insights. We give basically step-by-step our system, how we generated 50 million last year in Q4. So that's super valuable. Just write me on DM or comment below this video, and I will share it with you for free. Now I want to switch gears. I want to go deep into ads, Meta ads, Facebook ads. That's basically our bread and butter, and it's the bread and butter for the majority of D2C brands. Fun fact, yesterday I had a podcast interview with the head of media agencies of DACH from Meta, which is Andreas Rau. Somehow maybe we can connect this video here or the podcast episode so you can just rewatch it, because we talked also about Meta for e-commerce, how important it is. Let's kick it off with creatives, and then I roll the ball to you for running the ads, because you're the master of data. I'm more the creative and marketing guy. So we figured out a really simple formula for high-performing creatives. And I also have a backstory here. I'm just remembering, and I learned it in 2020 when you and me, we run all the accounts for our clients on Black Friday. And there was this one specific creative. I remember you created it with, I don't know, Paint or Canva or something. And and it was one ad, one creative, which generated basically $2 million in revenue. And I don't want to offend you, but it was really ugly.
But it was effective.
It was effective. So I was like, my design background was like, oh man, how can something looks like this and sell so well? So I started to figure it out, and also to analyze other winning promotional creatives. So I found this five-step formula, which is the first thing you need to have is a reason. So for example, Black Friday, Halloween, which we just talked about. The second thing is, and this should be the most prominent thing in the creative, the offer. Up to 30% off or something else. Like your offer needs to be the hero of the creative, right? The third step you need to implement is the product itself. It can be a bundle, but go straight to the point. The stuff people can buy, yeah, the hero product, for example. And then the fourth thing is urgency. We are all humans, we have a lot of psychology in us, and like urgency and fear of missing out makes people buy. So basically what we use in our creatives is like last chance to save 30%, sale ends in 48 hours. Last chance to save blah, 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 until Sunday, the 26th of November. So using urgency brings people, basically people need to decide now, and it works amazingly well. And the fifth thing to add in a creative is like a call to action. Like tell them, click now and save money, basically. If you combine those 5 steps in your creative and even in your ad copy, you will have the highest performing ad creatives. Yeah.
The beauty is, if you think, obviously we have studied a lot the old style advertising, direct response marketing and so on. And the more we go forward in this digital space, the more the rules of the game are going back in the history. I add another things why this 5-step formula that you just described is simple. We can say nothing super sexy that no one don't do, but so effective because it is linked with attention span. And what we saw is that during Black Week, Black Friday, Christmas, people are getting so little attention on the social media because they got bombarded from everywhere for offers. They walk around the street, 50%, 60%. They open Instagram or TikTok, 70%, bundles, whatever. It's such a mess. It's such a mess that then who is the one winning? The one that is like in the shortest amount of time is giving the right input for the user to click. That's the goal of the creative, right? Winning that right click, not all clicks. So just putting there some cats or dogs will not make them entering and buying. But the right click where we are really able to connect the desire to save, that's a desire, with the product they want, and psychological triggers to act now.
Yes,
is what is winning that click and not giving it to the competition.
Exactly.
Well, it's not that then there is that much to say. The only thing that I always like about creatives is they are called creatives because you need to be creative behind that.
Exactly.
Right? So if last year all the winning ones were orange, I put as an example, expect that this year potentially orange will not be the main winner because if people have already seen that, there is the eye saturation. I don't know.
It's basically called banner blindness.
Yeah, banner blindness. Yeah. That they have already seen that. And if all brands are copying the same of what was working last year, be sure it will not work this year.
Yes.
Right? So this is like where the creativity of every brand should go.
100%. Yeah, being different.
Being different.
Cool. So we covered up basically the creatives, which is super important. But now to the technical side of things, Meta ads, Facebook ads. Can you tell us a little bit about the technical setup, like the campaign structure, what we used in the past, which we also will use this Q4, so that people can imagine how an ad account should be structured?
I will be boring. So I tell you, I can tell the audience this story. So I'm really a nerdy guy. Or actually, I was, because right now the ecosystem has changed a lot. So I still remember like 4 or 5 years ago where you could get so much out of the platform just playing with complicated campaign structures, bidding strategies, cost cap, bid cap, acceleration, rules. There was whatever a nerdy media buying could have to have fun, okay? Things have changed a lot. One of the biggest turning point was obviously iOS 14, where I still remember the setup that we had from day and night pretty much was not working that much anymore. And then we started seeing that the biggest leverage was strong creatives that equals strong marketing, that equals strong funnels, strong offers, all the boring stuff of the past that are more relevant than ever right now. Along the years, even last year and even more this year, we saw that with 3 campaigns, you can spend 500K a month or 1 million a month in one ad account.
Yes.
The leverage is not becoming anymore how complicated the setup is, but rather how good you prepare the input with input, everything that we discuss, creatives, offers, positioning, messaging, and the post-click experience, the funnel. Just to give even some inputs on the campaign structures. We see right now that when we have one testing campaigns where every week we are testing new concept, new creatives, new offers, new ideas, and one prospecting campaigns where we give the machine the chance to expand on broad, mostly right now with the Advantage Shopping Plus campaigns like Magic. With these two campaigns already, even for Evergreen, you can scale pretty much every ad account.
Yes.
With promotions or Black Friday, what we are doing in the majority of cases is adding another testing campaign where we want to find the winners and another scaling campaigns. Why? This is like a super important part. Why we want to have in parallel evergreen campaigns with promotional campaigns? Because what we saw, again, come from experience of last years, whenever we were stopping evergreen, we were just squeezing out the funnel of people ready to buy and not refilling it on the top. When we started realizing that, mostly in the last 2 years, we realized that we should run 50% evergreen campaigns constantly with really the proper marketing about persuading people, influencing people that our product is what they need, with on top another layer with 50% of the budget per account on promotions, capturing the demand with the offer. This is like one of the biggest learnings that I would say we've had, mostly going from at the beginning, the small account spending 10, 20K a month to the one spending millions a month. Never stop evergreens.
Yes, and the fun fact is like even the evergreens in those periods, they are more profitable because there's an offer which makes them buy instantly. And it's actually, I think, a big problem a lot of brands are facing, that they stop completely with evergreen marketing and just run a promotional campaign until their funnel is empty. But if you think about the marketing funnel, you constantly need to push in people in order to get the profits out at the bottom. So,
I understand them. I believe in the first year we did the same learning mistake from our side as well, where we say, okay, you launch the promotional campaigns, the evergreen have a ROAS of 3, promotional have a ROAS of 4 or 5. What do you say? Okay, I switch more ad spend there because it's more efficient. Then after 2 days, nothing is selling. Or if you try to scale the ad spend, ROAS, the return on ad spend collapse. What do? You turn on evergreen, but it takes other 3-4 days.
Yeah.
So these were the moment that we had. One super important point that you mentioned, why even evergreen tends to perform even better during those periods. Because we need to remember that the algorithm, the meta in this case, loves signals. And when a lot of people are converting on the evergreen messaging because they got attracted by the right persuasion points, right marketing messages, and then they find an offers, all these signals goes back to Meta. And Meta says, okay, cool. This is the people that I should hit with this problem, with this desire, whatever. And the conversion in those ads will be even higher. So never stop evergreen creatives.
Never stop it. So that was all about the technical setup. Let's talk a little bit, and I think this is super interesting for the majority of the watchers. How do we profitably scale those Facebook ad campaigns? I remember last year we had a couple of days where we spent like 700,000 euros per day. So how is this even possible? How can people scale those campaigns?
So, I will make my old story about running a Ferrari, like a video game.
Yeah.
Okay. So for me, running, and even like for all our media buys right now, and I believe all media buys in the world, running ads on Q4 is like being in a video game, in a Matrix movie, where you can go as fast as you want, and you can crash as fast as you can.
Yeah.
Let's think about racing cars, a Ferrari. So a Ferrari in a circuit, there are some parts of the track where they are really straight and you can speed super fast, and some others where you need to brake. Same is like with e-commerce. Every e-commerce brand can now enter in their Shopify dashboard from last years and so on. And what they will notice is there are specific time of the day, hours of the day, days of the week where people buy more. In Black Friday Q4, this is like one of the best data point to say, if I see all people buying from, I don't know, midday till 6 p.m., this is like the fast part of the track where I should drive my Ferrari as fast as I could.
Yeah.
That's how we do that. So we constantly analyze where the people are buying the most, in which hours, in which days, and then we try to invest the majority of ad spend there. Why? Because we are just winning the eyeballs of people when they are most likely to convert. As simple, as stupid as it sounds. Concretely, how to do it? We have one North Star metric that is the cost per new customer. ROAS of new customer, whatever. For us, like, how much can we afford to spend for a new customer with the highest volumes of new customers? And when we have that, we don't care about how much we are spending as long as we are growing the volumes with the target KPIs that every business should have. Was it clear enough?
So basically how it looks then like with the budgets is what we usually do, we start the campaigns early in the morning at a set budget, right? And then if the demand is high, so for example, as you just mentioned in Shopify, in the analytics, in the reports, sales over time.
By hour.
And then you can categorize by hour, and then you see which hours of for example, in the evening when people are at home and bored on the sofa, then the buying intent is the highest. Then just simply allocate the majority of your budget in this time. So what we did last year and the years before is we know the data, we know when, and then that could mean that a prospecting campaign goes from 5,000 euros a day to 50,000 euros a day in budget, just from one hour to the next, because we want to push hard in this in those time frame where the buying intent is the highest.
Just one really golden nugget here. Whenever we increase one campaign from, let's say, 5K to 50K or to 200K or even more, there is a time lag on Meta on that campaign where the campaign will have such a strong reset that for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 1 hour, it will not spend. So analyzing data, I always suggest, if you know that at 10 a.m., the people will start buying a lot, 1 hour before, increase the spend.
Yes.
Okay, and this is like something that many are missing or they don't understand why it's happening, is because every time that we give more than 30% of the ad spend to one campaign, there will be a hard reset to reallocate the spend in the day. That's what happens.
Let's quickly touch base on a topic I figured out in the webinar a lot of people got interested in, which is automated rules. A quick story from 2021. I remember we had one new media buyer in the team, and we had one for a couple of months already. So we had like four media buyers in the team. And in the beginning of November, like one of the media buyers said, I want to go to Kapstadt. I do this South Africa. I do this every year, Cape Town. And we were like, are you really sure, man? It's the peak season for our clients and also for our agency. Yeah, no problem. Internet is fine. Electricity is there and so on. So we said yes. Basically, in every Zoom call, in every Zoom meeting, he got pushed out because the electricity was gone, so the internet was gone. We were like, oof, man, okay, let's see. And then on the Sunday, so back then we started the Black Week on Monday. On the Sunday, he got thrown out of Facebook because of suspicious activity, because he changed the location and a new IP address, and he got blocked out from Facebook, and he couldn't log in again. And the other media buyer we hired, he was too new to run big budgets. So at the end, it was you and me in my living room running, I think, 18 ad accounts at the same time. And what really saved our ass, because you cannot oversee all active ads at any point of time. So what we used is automated rules. Yep. So we defined rules, and then basically that was one of our media buyers help us, right?
Or 10.
Or 10, yeah, and even more efficient, right? So let's quickly touch base on automated rules.
Yeah, so even on this topic, quite nerdy, but one of
that's what you love.
Yeah, it's like it's a big leverage, I believe, to reduce inefficiencies, to increase efficiency of the ad spend, not just in Q4, but like all year long. I still remember 3-4 years ago when they were super complicated, when no one could understand what I was doing. To today, where we have a super simple setup of rules that they have one goal: stopping inefficient ads 24 hours every 15 minutes, so they cannot be matched by a human being.
Yeah.
Second, we know that potentially some ads got a lot of reach, and then the sales attributed to Meta were coming after, 5 hours, 10 hours, 1 day, reactivated them. So we have this set of rules that they need to constantly control our efficiency at the ad level, because with the volume of testing that we have, the bigger the accounts, the higher the volume of ads that are active. And there is what we saw, there is no human being who is able to manage on scale when you are really spending 100, 200, 500K a day, those volume of ads. Suggestion input for everyone. We use RevealBot, that is like quite known, quite simple.
I think we even have a discount for new people.
Yeah, I should check.
So just hit us up if you want to save 20-30%.
Yes. Where the only thing that needs to be done is like adding a specific keywords to the campaigns, defining what is like the cost, the metric that you want to stop or reactivate an ad, and the system will take care about stopping or reactivating the ads. So that's it. So we don't need to focus on that. What is the highest leverage that we have on managing the ad spend, right? And on that, potentially many are even or ask me, hey, why you don't automate that as well? Because in the past I got burned, like really a few things that are just going wrong is like 20K spent or wasted in 10 minutes. It happened. That's why I believe the biggest leverage of any automation is like making sure that you don't overspend on inefficient ads. And the human mind is where should really drive the car to the maximum speed.
Exactly. And that helped us a lot, because you can imagine, just for context, we had ad accounts with like 500 active ads, and you should check them every 15 minutes if you are spending hundreds of thousands a day. And the reveal bot, or basically the automated rules, saved our ass.
Yes.
So, Emma, I'm checking a little bit on the time. I think we are over 1 hour already in, so we like to talk. I think we need to do this a lot more often. I would talk a little bit about a multi-channel approach, and then finally we summarize some points. Multi-channel approach. So a lot of brands are looking only on Facebook ads. And don't get me wrong, Facebook ads, I love Facebook ads. I run my first ad 9 years ago. But Facebook ads is like one puzzle piece of the ecosystem of a successful e-commerce brand. It was also 2020 when we figured out an anomaly on Meta in the Facebook ad accounts regarding CPM prices. We figured out that with a certain method, we were able to decrease the CPM by 20 to 30%, which means for the same amount of budget, we would reach 20 to 30% more people. So campaigns basically get more profitable at the end. So I remember you analyzed, you showed me all the graphs. You like the nerdy stuff, right? And we were looking at the graphs and the stats and so on, and we figured something out.
Yes, we realized that channels work well together. It's not just a mantra that everyone was preaching casually, and mostly when we are in push campaigns. So what we found out, making the long story short, that whenever there is, for instance, another channel, email, driving a lot of traffic, high quality traffic to the site that converts, Meta, in this case, gets a lot of signals back because a lot of people are triggering purchase event, conversions, a lot of time on the site, and so on. This is like a nice input to the Meta algorithm to say, hey, people in this website are having a really nice experience. Let's give it even higher quality of people or at a cheaper price. That's where usually we saw a CPM going down or staying the same, but with a much higher ad spend.
Yes.
Then I still remember we said, but if it is working with email, it could work even with something else, right? And that's where we found the second biggest impact was with influencers posts.
Yeah.
And I had other suggestion. Please book all your influencers marketing right now, not in November. Otherwise, you will not find the good ones.
Yeah.
I closed the bracket. Whenever there was a big influencer posting and driving a lot of traffic and reach through their influencer profile, we saw that, Meta, CPM, and ads are performing better. And then really when we started saying, okay, why don't we say at that time, the biggest influencer with the highest reach, with the first email push to drive the cost of Meta ads to the lowest and spend the most. That's where we have won so far many times and where we keep working on that. A question that many were asking, but then there is cross-match attribution. So many sales from the influencer are attributed to Meta and vice versa. It's a mess. For sure, it's a mess. The only thing that we care in those days is to reach the highest amount of people at the cheapest price and making sure that the new customer that we are getting in the funnel are matching with our benchmark that we need.
Exactly.
When we have that, I will simplify that. You don't care where they are coming because you are growing the business. Many will be across different platforms. Cool. The problem is that if you just remove one platform, after 2 days, you don't have anything more. So the customer journey is finished and you don't scale. It's a game about, do you want the highest volume with your cost per new customer target? Mm-hmm. Or do you want the highest efficiency possible? That's a question that brands should ask themselves.
Yeah.
For us, in the majority, we want the highest growth with the target cost per new customer because then the rest of the year is coming as a consequence of that. It's a choice.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of brands get distracted with how does exactly my customer journey looks like? How can I attribute this sale to one ad or whatsoever? In reality, I always do like this. The customer journey looks like this. So if you're seeing the YouTube video, it's like here. And in my opinion, this is the most important. Check your, what are you paying for a new customer? Check your MER. Basically, the cost of a new customer is even more important than your MER, because if you go up with revenue, you can go down with the MER and earn the same amount of percentage in profit.
Absolutely.
So,
and as you mentioned, I believe we, even from our side, we really tried to get so granular on the customer journeys that then we were just saying, does it lead to a big leverage? And we say, no.
Yeah.
And then when we revert and we say, what is important? The cost per new customer and the lifetime value of that customer. Exactly. That's what any business needs, obviously. Profitability on the lifetime and so on. But all the other metrics, they are softer metrics that they are not giving the biggest leverage.
Absolutely. So we covered a lot of stuff. We talked about sales events. Why is Q4 so important? We talked about offer building. We talked about creatives, about ad buying strategies, about all the secret nuggets we use, for example, multi-channel marketing. Since you're a special guest here in our podcast, and you're always welcome to join again. So I'm more than happy to see you more in the future. I ask you at the end, what do you see, what 3 things you would advise? What have you learned the past couple of years? What were basically the 3 most important advices you would give to D2C brands for this Q4?
So the right offer makes or doesn't make the Q4. before everything else, before offer, like where the highest amount of time should go to think it really in a creative way, in a strategical way. Second, get all the assets ready.
Creatives, copies.
Funnels, landing pages. We didn't even touch about landing pages and funnels. Too much to talk about.
Time for episode 2.
Yeah, potentially. Logistics, stocks, all this part needs to be ready when? I would say 1st of November. If we want to run the campaigns on the 20th, 1st of November. And third, don't be scared. So this comes in with my way of acquiring the highest amount of customers possible during Q4. Don't be scared to spend when you see that the business metrics are great.
Yes.
Don't overcomplicate to check the last click, because otherwise you are losing €1 check of what you could miss if you take the decision to double the spend after 3 hours. 100%. That's much bigger leverage than the micro details.
Amazing. And if you guys are watching this on YouTube or listen to the podcast, if you find something out of that content valuable, I suggest subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the podcast, because every week we push out our insights from the agency. We have generated over 400 million for our D2C clients. So we have learned a ton. We did a lot of mistakes and learned out of that, which we are constantly sharing in our free content. So if this is valuable for you, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channels. And Ema, for you, I wish you amazing. Thanks a lot, firstly. And then I wish you and us an amazing Q4, and especially our clients to bring the best results. Thanks that you have been here in Munich in our studio.
I love that.
I hope that you come back pretty soon. And thanks, bro.
We'll speak soon.
We'll speak soon.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Ciao.